Knifedope. More dope. Come and get your fix. What's up, fuckers? Your boy's back with a special batch of dope. That's right, people. The hits don't stop. Making this video in acknowledgement of the 4th of July, America's birthday, the year of our Lord and Savior, 2023. Initially, actually, I was going to make a Spyderco video, being that Spyderco is an American company. But then I started debating if I was going to show my entire Spyderco collection, because I also have some Spydercos that aren't American made. I reached out to some of the homies in the Thebladecartel, and they said, no, man, you need to do an American knives only. So that's what I decided to do. Got 20 of them in front of me. Basically, 18 of them are in my collection, and 2 of these are from friends of the channel, and I will give such acknowledgement. But before we dive into this, I would like to take a moment of silence in recognition and in honor of all the men and women who have served this country, who are serving this country, and for the ones who have given the ultimate sacrifice for this country. Please pause. Okay, thank you for that. Also want to give a shout out to 2 friends of the channel, 2 American companies. First and foremost, D&K Knives. We love you, Don Farmer. D&K Knives can satisfy all of your knife needs. Just whenever you find the knife you need and you get to checkout, be sure to use code Knifedope for 10% off your purchase. And then once you found that knife and you order it, you got to dress it, make it yours. Head on over to Original Goat, buy yourself some scales, treat yourself. But whatever you do, use code FUCKER for 15% off your purchase. End of the shilling, people. Let's get to the dope. Coming in hot. First up, we're looking at the Spyderco Little Native. This was the most recent drop of the knife model. This one is the Wharncliffe blade version, S30B blade steel, satin finish, G10 scales, wire pocket clip. Love this knife. That forward finger choil does allow for that full purchase, no refund. This model is by far my favorite small pocket carry knife out of all knives, out of all knife brands. I love it. Very capable. Like I said, it is my favorite. So much so that I've got 2 of them. This one here was actually the first one that I bought. This one is also an S30B, but this is the drop point configuration. I kept the build all American by putting on these Rips Garage Tech fluted titanium scales. Once again, this is also utilizing Spyderco's compression lock. Great lock, one of my favorite locks for sure, because most importantly, it keeps your fingers out the path of the blade, so it's finger safe, super fidgety as a fuck, and it's a strong lockup. So those are the first 2 coming in, the Spyderco Little Native. Keeping that same native energy, I got another one. This one is the Native 5 lightweight rendition, rocking CPM Magna Cum Laude. That's right, aka Magna Cut. With the lightweight scales, FRN scales, they have the multi-directional patterning. This is the marine yellow color. Went ahead and kept it American with that Lynch Northwest side deep carry pocket clip. This knife uses Spyderco's lockback, which is one of the oldest locks around, but that being said, one of the most strong locks as well. And speaking of locks, I am currently working on a very thorough video where I talk about and show examples of all the locking mechanisms in the collection. A lot of work's going into this one, people. It will be a long video, so you have been warned. But nonetheless, this is fantastic lightweight carry. And I got another one. This one is the my favorite version of the knife. This one is the fluted carbon fiber version in S90V. One of my top 2 steels in preference, rather. Love this one. It's got the contoured scales. Once again, using that lockback. And then we kept it all American with that Lynch Northwest side pocket clip. Also lightweight due to the carbon fiber scales, and also due to the fact that these are linerless. So there you have the 2 Native 5s in the collection. Next one we're taking a look at here is the Para 3. This one was the most recent acquisition for me. This one originally was a lightweight S90V blade steel once again. However, I couldn't tolerate those lightweight scales. You know, they do feel decent. They're not like they feel bad, but I prefer a more premium, more robust feel to my knives, and that's accomplished with these Applied Weapons Tech scales. This one is the, I think they call this titanium blue or something like that. Nonetheless, I put those on. Also threw on that Lynch Northwest Side pocket clip. Once again, utilizing Spyderco's compression lock. Keeping that same goddamn energy, I got this one. This is the St. Nick's exclusive Para 3. Also a lightweight version initially, and also once again upgraded to the Applied Weapons Tech scales. This is the brick red color. 4V is the blade steel with a black DLC coated finish. And once again, Lynch Northwest Side pocket clip. I just love these Para 3s, man. They are, in a lot of people's eyes, and in mine too, the perfect EDC, you know? Almost that Goldilocks. Not too big, not too small, just right. So those are the Para 3s. Now, before the Para 3, we had the Paramilitary 2. But this ain't no ordinary PM2. This is the Tanto version. Hands down, probably one of the most sought after PM2 versions. And I've been fortunate. I've had two in the collection at one time. I ended up selling the S30V version in preference of keeping this one. This one is a Blade HQ exclusive in M4 blade steel with a beautiful satin finish. I mean, just look at that blade, man. I love it. This also is being kept American with the Cerberus scales. Also went ahead once again, Lynch Northwest Side pocket clip. And once again, utilizing that compression lock, which Spyderco has been known for. The patent has worn out on the compression lock, and there's companies who are starting to make them. So it's interesting to see other companies' iteration of the compression lock. But let's not forget who did it first and who did it best, Spyderco. Okay, let's switch gears a little bit. You guys have seen this one before. Hands down, my favorite knife in the collection at this point. And this is the McNeese PM Mac II 3.5 rendition. Rocking that beautiful hollow grind reprofile, performed by none other than the legendary John Miller from BGM Knives. Shout out to BGM Knives. This version also is highly sought after because of the jig titanium handles. Very, very hard to find. Rocking CPM Magna Cut. Also rocking an American pocket clip, none other than the MXG Gear deep carry pocket clip. The knife is also riding on Skiffs, another USA made company. I love it. My favorite knife as of right now. Definitely feel blessed to have this one in the collection. Okay. Now, some may consider this Spyderco's direct competitor, and this is Benchmade. And like I mentioned at the beginning of the video, this knife does not belong to me. I am trying to, full disclosure, I am trying to pry it from the owner's hands, and I'll let you guys know how successful I am on that. But this knife belongs to Mr. Johnny B, aka El Cap. Great friend of the channel, and at this point I consider him a friend overall. But I digress. We've got a nice reverse Tanto blade in S90V blade steel. Nice stonewash finish on that blade. Love the carbon fiber handles. By far my favorite when it comes to the handle selection for Benchmade. Also got the, he has the deep carry Benchmade pocket clip on here. Now this is the first knife you've seen tonight that's using the access lock. There was a point in time when Benchmade was the sole proprietor of that access lock, but the patent has worn off on that or has expired. And so now you're seeing all these damn knife companies with their version of the access lock. But let's not forget who did it first and who has done it best thus far, Benchmade. I know a lot of people often talk about the blade stock on this knife and it not being much of a slicer, but I disagree. I think it's great. I love it, and hopefully one day I'll have this one or another one in the collection. This is the Benchmade Osborne 940-1, and it's an American-made classic. Some people refer to this as the best Benchmade ever, and I might agree. I don't know. I guess we'll have to see at some point, but this is the Benchmade Mini Presidio 2 S30V blade steel with a beautiful bead blast finish. This has got what they refer to as the carbon fiber elite. Great feel in hand. Once again, they're utilizing that access lock from Benchmade. I did go ahead and throw on this aftermarket Benchmade deep carry pocket clip, so therefore keeping that American integrity on the build. Open back construction, riding on standoffs. A lot of milling there on those liners. Super lightweight, super fidgety as a fuck. Great knife to have in the pocket. Perfect EDC. That is the Mini Presidio 2. Last Benchmade in the collection, but one of my favorites, is the Mini Griptilian. This has got the saber grind with the Spidey hole and the sheep's foot Warncliffe blade configuration. Hands down my favorite Griptilian that they offer. Now back to the scales that I had talked about earlier. These are those GFN scales from Benchmade that you will find on such models like the Bug Out. But however, on the Mini Grip, they feel a lot more sturdy than the ones you get on the Bug Out. You know, with the Bug Out scales, you can literally squeeze them and feel them, flexing, but I can't feel that with this. I don't know if perhaps it's just because it's a smaller, more condensed knife, but nonetheless, it does feel sturdier than the Bug Out. This has got a clamshell construction on the handles, utilizing that access lock again. I just love the acoustics on this knife. At one time, I did change them. I had put on some aftermarket micarta scales, but I actually ended up going back to these. They call it the Griptilian for a reason. You have such good grip on your purchase. The knife is definitely secure when in hand. One of my favorite Benchmades in the collection for sure. And that is the Benchmade Mini Griptilian. Back to Spyderco. The Spyderco Yojimbo 2. This one was originally a DLT exclusive. It came with the purple G10 handles. We've got the black DLC coated crew wear blade. I think this is, as of right now, this is the only knife in the collection I have with crew wear. So I'm digging that. Did go ahead and throw on some beautiful aftermarket scales from Applied Weapons Tech. I opted to go with the bronze color. I think it looks great with that black DLC coated blade. Still wanted to maintain that American build, so I did go ahead and throw on that Rips Garage Tech 3D milled titanium pocket clip. Once again, utilizing that fantastic compression lock. I think this is a Michael Janich design. Jankovic design, Janich design. I know I'm screwing that name up. I'm drawing a blank as I'm doing this video, but we've got a beautiful hollow grind on the blade. Self-defense all the way. Would have loved to have had a little finger choil added there, but they do have a little spot for you to rest your finger. Love the blade shape. We've got like a modified sheep's foot / Warncliffe blade, but this is a fantastic knife and I love it. This one is not mine. This also belongs to a friend of the channel. This knife is the ZT0558, legendary knife from ZT's earlier days. A lot of people argue, and I think I agree with them, that ZT was ahead of their time. You know, this came out several years ago. It is discontinued, I think it's discontinued. I'm pretty sure it's discontinued. You can still find it on the secondary, and particularly you might even be able to find it at a few distributors perhaps, who have old stock. But this is a fantastic overbuilt work knife. Like I mentioned, this is the Rick Hinderer design. Rick Hinderer used to do a lot of collabs with ZT, and this is one of them. We've got a beautiful drop point blade. Look at the blade stock on that thing. S35 VN with a nice stonewash finish. Got a nice, I think we're gonna call that marble carbon fiber or raindrop carbon fiber. Show size scale with the liner, so it's very secure, very robust. I mean, look at that goddamn stop pin. We've got the titanium lock side with the Rick Hinderer designed over travel stop. ZT deep carry pocket clip. This is a legendary knife in itself. I love it. I might have to try to find one of these for myself, actually. I have none in the collection, so I think I need to have one. That's the ZT0558. Keeping that same goddamn Rick Hinderer energy. The one and only Hinderer in my collection, and it's my favorite. This is the Rick Hinderer Eclipse. I believe this is generation Gen 3, which has been heavily modded. You guys have heard about it before. I had the flipper delete and the hollow grind with the finger choil added, all being performed by BGM Knives. Put on that beautiful show side scale to match the lock side, which is the battle bronze. Changed the hardware. This is now a slicey Hinderer. I know that's not a common thing you hear, but it's fantastic. Overbuilt work knife. Thumb studs double down as a lock pin basically. So it's very secure, very solid lockup. Riding on skips. So the American build, the American integrity on the build is being kept. I love it. Ain't going nowhere. This one is the murdered out rendition of the Manix 2. Love the Manix 2 blade. Love the Manix 2 model. Got several of them in the collection. You're about to find out. This one has got that black DLC coated blade with the black G10 scales. I did swap out that ball cage for a Flytanium sage green ball cage. Also kept that integrity on this American build with the MXG Gear deep carry pocket clip. This is utilizing Spyderco's ball bearing lock. I have no idea why we don't see this lock on more models of theirs, but you know, hopefully one day they listen to the people, because I know I'm not the only one screaming that. That forward finger choil makes it fit and so great in the hand. Does allow for that full purchase, no refund. Riding on washers. This is a legendary knife and I love it. Okay, you were warned. There were multiple versions of this knife in the collection. This one is possibly my favorite of them. This is the River's Edge Cutlery exclusive of the Manix 2. We've got CTS 204P for your blade steel with the, what do they call that? I think they call this, it's a Cerakote finish, but I'm drawing a blank here. It's a beautiful Cerakote finish. They call this the avocado configuration, where you have this olive drab G10 handles. I did also, the only mod I did to this one was the pocket clip, which is the Lynch Northwest pocket clip. And that is the River's Edge Cutlery exclusive of the Manix 2. I think they call that Coyote or something. I don't fucking know. This next one might be number 2 as far as my favorite goes, or it might even be number 1. This is the 15V Sprint Run version of the Manix 2. This came out in December of last year, and this one was hard to get. That being said though, I did manage to land 2 of them, and I sold one. And I kind of regret it now, because I would have liked to have just kept one as a safe queen. This has been used quite a bit, but it does hide its use very well. Have not had to sharpen it yet. That 15V is phenomenal when it comes to edge retention. Only thing I've had to do is strop it. I did go ahead and mod this one though. I did put on those Applied Weapons Tech scales and also threw on that Lynch Northwest side pocket clip. Also, I did change out the ball cage for a Flytanium aluminum ball cage, and this is great. Love it, love it, love it. Keeping that same 15V energy, we're looking at the Spyderco Shaman. This one, full disclosure, has not seen much pocket time at all. 15V is the blade steel, beautiful satin finish, or rather stonewash finish. This is a Triple B collaboration. Triple B is Sean Houston. He has his own heat treatment protocol that Spyderco was using for the 15V, and it's great. We've got doo-doo brown G10 smooth G10 scales, and I kept it original with the stonewashed Spyderco pocket clip. Once again, back to that compression lock, which is fantastic. This one also you can front flip. Don't necessarily know if Spyderco meant that when they designed the knife, or if knife maniacs just went ahead and figured out you could do that. But that is the 15V version of the Shaman. Okay, another Shaman, another River's Edge Cutlery exclusive. This one is what I mentioned earlier. They call this the avocado, with that beautiful Cerakoted blade, the olive drab smooth G10 handles. I did do a little bit of a mod on this one. All I did was throw on that Fox Mascus patterned Lynch Northwest side pocket clip, back to that forward finger choil, allowing that full purchase, and back to that compression lock, making this knife a favorite of mine. Last up, but certainly not least, the one user out of my 3 Shamans. This one was originally a Blade Ops exclusive. I did send this over to Way of Knife to have the blade finish changed. They did a acid etch stonewash finish that came out gorgeous, as well as they did a finish on the hardware. I did change out the scales. The original scales that come on the knife are a cool gray smooth G10. I opted to go back once again to Applied Weapons Tech, and I put their I forget what they call those, something gray, maybe just stone or raw. I think they call it raw gray or something, but it looks fantastic. And then I did throw on that Lynch Northwest side pocket clip. American knives in the company, in the collection. You've seen them all. What do y'all think? You think I went a little overboard? Or some of these in your collection? Tell me all about it. Are there some American knives you want to recommend? I'd love to hear what you guys got to say about it. You know, anytime I can support America, I'm going to always do my best to support them. It's a fantastic country. Yeah, we've got a lot of issues in this country, just like all countries do. But in the grand scheme of things, you know, I think we can all come together. There's been times where we have. There's been times where we've been divided, you know? But that's what I got to say about the situation. I hope you guys had a good 4th of July. I hope y'all were safe. I hope you guys had a lot of fun. I hope you guys bought a lot of knives. I bought one. You're going to have to stay tuned for that. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Tell me all about it. Until the next time. Cut something. Cut someone. Just don't cut yourself. Stay dangerous, fuckers.